everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to look at how to multiply a fraction by another fraction. Now we've talked in our last video about the 4 steps that we're going to follow. So if you reference back to the notes from multiplying fractions by a whole number, you'll see that we have our full 4 rules here. So rule number 1 is we're going to write all whole numbers as fractions. So if you have a whole number, you're going to write that number as a fraction by putting the numerator as the number you see and the denominator as 1. If you have a mixed number, you're going to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. Remember we talked about that. We call it making Texas. So you multiply the denominator times the whole number, add the numerator. That would become the new numerator, and the denominator would remain the same. Once you've done all that, or skipped it if you didn't need it, you jump to step number 2, which is going to be to cross cancel. And remember, cross canceling means you're going to pair a number up that's in the numerator spot and a number that's in the denominator spot. They pair up because they're both divisible by the same number. Now, if you're at the basic level of this, keep practicing it. I promise practice does make perfect. Sorry, I can't even talk. Practice does make perfect in this regard, and I promise you this is a skill that will really, really benefit you later on. So keep up with it and continue to practice. All right, let's look at step number 3, because this is where we're going to be at today. When we actually get to the multiplication part, we're going to multiply the numerators times the numerators, and then the denominators times the denominators. At the very end, if you can simplify, we're going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use these steps, and we're going to practice multiplying a fraction by another fraction. So let's start off with my first example, and I'm going to take, I'll do something really basics, like 1/3 times 1/4. Okay? Now in this problem, I skipped step 1. I don't have any whole numbers, I don't have any mixed numbers. I can actually bypass step number 2 because I don't have anything to cross cancel. Pairing a number up with 1 isn't going to do me any good. It's just going to give me what I started with, so I don't even want to waste my time. So I immediately jump to step number 3. So I'm going to multiply the numerator times the numerator, so 1 times 1, and then the denominator times the denominator, so 3 times 4, which would give me 12. Okay? Now, in this case, I cannot simplify, so since I can't simplify, the answer would simply be 1/12. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how this would work if you were to have a model. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use 2 different colors of pencils to help us illustrate this particular problem. Okay, so I'm going to illustrate this model by starting up, I always like to call it my brownie pan. Kind of reminds me of brownies because I'm going to cut them into pieces. So there's my pan of brownies. And I'm going to start off and I'm going to model this first fraction. So I want to take my brownie pan and I'm going to break it up into 3 equal pieces, and the denominator is going to tell me how to break that up, okay? And of those 3 pieces, I want to shade in 1 of them. And so I'm going to use my pink colored pencil here, and I'm going to shade in 1 of those 3 pieces. And you can see it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Now, I'm going to take the second fraction, and that's going to tell me now how I'm going to cut my brownies up going the opposite direction. So I went vertically the first time. This time I'm going to go horizontally. So the denominator tells me how many cuts I need to make. I need to make 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Now of those 4 pieces, I want to shade in 1 of them. So now I'm going to take a different color. I'm going to take orange, and I'm going to shade in 1 of those 4 pieces. Now, looking at your model, how many of those squares have both pink and orange? In this case, I only have 1, so this would be the only square right here that has both pink and orange. That's how I get the numerator of 1. And there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces, and that's how I get my denominator. So if I were to ask you how to model this problem, that's exactly what you do. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and let's do one more example here. So how about we take 1/2 times 3/5? Okay, now again, I don't have any whole numbers, I don't have any mixed numbers, so I skip step number 1. Step number 2, nothing pairs up with a 2, nothing pairs up with a 3, nothing pairs up with a 5, so I cannot cross cancel this problem. So I'm able to bypass step number 2. Step number 3, I'm going to simply multiply. 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 5 is 10. I cannot think of a number besides 1 that divides into 3 and 10, so I'm not going to be able to simplify this problem at all. So in this problem, the answer would be 3/10. Okay? Now let me me show you, if we were to model this, how it would look. So again, I draw my brownie pan here. Okay. I'm going to start with my first fraction. It tells me I'm going to break that brownie pan up into 2 equal pieces, and I ate one of those 2. So I'm going to shade in one of those 2 pieces. So the denominator will tell you how many pieces to break it up into. The numerator will tell you how many to color in. Now the second fraction tells me I need to break this brownie up into 5 pieces. Now I went vertically the first time, so now I'm going to go horizontally the second time. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now of those 5 pieces, I want to shade in 3 of them. So let me fix my color pencil here. It kind of died on me. Okay, we're good. So I'm going to shade in 1, 2, and 3 of them. Now I want to look. How many of those boxes did I color both pink and orange? So I colored in this one, and this one had both pink and orange. I don't care about ones that just have pink. I don't care about ones that have just orange, or I don't care about the blank ones. I only care about the ones that have both pink and orange. So that is going to be my numerator. That's where you see that I get the 3. There's 1, 2, 3 that are double shaded. The denominator is going to be how many total pieces I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that's how I get my denominator. Okay? Now, if you have any questions about how to multiply a fraction by a fraction, or how to model this, please make sure you're coming and talking to me. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time.